Hello there. So this has come up about 4 times in the last 2 days, so I'm just going to drop this here, and it's about alternatives. So there's a way that spiritual entities operate, and I mean, we can see it playing out in the physical. Once I lay it out, you'll get an idea of what I'm talking about. But there's this thing that goes on where someone very close to you will get used to hook you or get you or trigger you or whatever fancy naff word you want to use about that. But they'll be used, and it'll come out of the blue usually, unless it's a concerted attack. They've found a chink in your armour and they're just going to keep hammering it, and you're never bouncing back from it, and then it'll just get worse and worse and worse. But let's say you bounce back. You've got the skills, you can clear energy, you can get rid of stuff, you know what you're doing, using your intention. You're burning sage for all the good that'll do you, unless you're where sage grows. Anyway, you're doing all the stuff. You've got all the intention. And then it pops up again out of the blue randomly. Now this is going to be your children, this could be your dog, this is going to be your parents, that's a favourite one. This is going to be a lover, this is going to be a partner, this is going to be a boss, this is going to be someone you work with closely. They're going to do something that hooks you, some behaviour, some comment, some thing. And you'll try everything. You'll get hooked. You'll fly off the handle. You'll go into a spiral. You'll wonder how could they possibly do that to me? You'll do all of that. Within half an hour, half a day, they won't even remember they've done it. I guarantee you. They'll say, "Well, you're blowing it all out of proportion. I wasn't." You'll be like, "Oh, narcissist, gaslighting." Well, it could be. It could be that. But you could actually be dealing with like a targeted attack, a spiritual targeted attack. And you can clear the entity out, you can get their permission, you can work on them, you can get them cleared, you can clear the house, you can clear the workspace, you can do all of that stuff. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. You can't stop another person who's in your inner circle of your life letting one of these energies in. There's no way, well, there is a way. You'd have to be pretty hardcore. For 99.9% of people, there's no way that everyone in your inner circle knows how to deal with this shit, let alone knows the difference between their own voice internally and the voice of one of these other things. They're just not going to know. So there's nothing you can do except don't swallow the hook. That's it. You are not going to emotionally engage with this. You're going to engage with it. You're going to be there. Like, imagine it's your child, right? You're going to be there. You're going to pay attention to them. You're going to talk to them. You're going to see their point of view. You're going to explain your point of view, but probably not too much because they're not going to listen to it. But you're not going to try and argue. You're not going to try and stop them. You're not going to climb on the roller coaster. You are going to be emotionally and energetically neutral. This does not mean you don't care. They're going to say it means you don't care. They're going to imply that it means you don't care. That's a hook. See it for what it is. They changed the prawn to a piece of chicken or a piece of bread. They just rebaited the hook and threw it back out in the water again to see if you'll swallow that one. And you know how often you get grabbed like that. Like, I've been grabbed like that. They change the bait. They throw the same hook out. Same person comes back with a different bait inside the same situation within minutes. Just swaps from prawn to chicken. Bang. You swallow the hook. And then you're like, You got me. All right, you got me. Good one. Well done. But I'm pulling back out again. I'm spitting the hook out. Ask a fisherman. Fish can spit the hook back out. It happens. Don't engage. And the reason why, and this is a bit like me saying work on your traumas, and really traumatized people who are a bit shitty about that because they think I'm living this yummy life where I've never had trauma. Obviously, if I haven't lived in a active war zone and been a child soldier, I don't know what trauma is, right? That's all well and good for you to say. I mean, that's what someone says who doesn't want to check their own shit. You don't know my life, and I don't know your life. I'm, not really interested in your life. I've got a very busy life. I've got plenty to do. But I'm saying deal with your trauma as and when you can, getting what help you need very carefully and methodically, because it's full of claymores and landmines and booby traps. Just like I'm saying, do not emotionally or energetically engage with this behavior, especially when it comes through someone in your inner circle. Don't walk off, don't disengage. That won't work. That's an avoidance tactic. You need to get in close, like the fighters say, like the boxers say. You need to grab their belt buckle. Get in close and be neutral. And the reason I say that, oh, Hamish, you're so full of it. Like, what would you know about trauma? What would you know about? The reason I say that is because what's your alternative? What's your alternative? Let the trauma run your life. Be miserable. Suffer. That's one alternative. Or don't suffer, because suffering is a choice. Pain is not a choice. You can't choose pain, but you can choose whether you're going to suffer with the pain or not. Like, look up the definition of suffering. Suffering is a choice. Some people go to crazy clubs and get people to chain them up and whip them and put them in pain, and they love it. They're not suffering. They're doing it for fun. Pain does not equal suffering, right? So you've just got to flip that a bit and go, what is even suffering? Why am I choosing to pin my emotional and energetic responses to something I have no control over? That's a fuck up. That's giving away your autonomy to something else. Like giving away one of your only bits of autonomy in here. You haven't got much, but you've got that. Might as well claim it. So the reason I say be neutral around this is because the alternative to not being neutral and still riding the emotional roller coaster and getting hooked and thinking they're serious and thinking they mean it and taking it personally is these entities will continue to use the person you love. Full stop. Period, as my United States friends would say. There's your alternative. You either go neutral, grab the belt buckle and get in close and be in there, be right in the soup neutrally, watching them on the roller coaster but not riding it. You're not going up, you're not going down, you are neutral, but you're not running away. You're right there, but you're not in it. It's not that you don't care, you care very much, but you're neutral to the behaviour and the comments. You're not biting. You're not giving that witty, snappy little sharp remark. You're not doing that. Because that's the only way, and I can tell you from vivid, long experience, the only way to stop these entities from using the people you love is to not negotiate with terrorists. That's it. If you get in there and try and argue your point of the story, try and make them see reason, try and bully them, try and boss them, try and anything other than just neutrally and calmly, like an OG kindergarten teacher, or the shit's flying all around you and you're just very calmly just getting it done until everyone calms the fuck down again. The alternative to doing that is your loved ones will continue to get used by these beings as terrorists against you. And there is nothing you can do about it. Nothing. Believe me, I've done everything. It doesn't work. There is only one thing you can do, and that is to make that piece on the board useless and worthless to the entities that are trying to get at you. That is your only option. You either let them continue to get used and you play the game, and it's so terrible, and I've gone for help here, and I've looked for help there, and you can do that. You can do that for decades. But your only real option is to stop buying the bullshit. Because when you do that, then that piece on the board is ineffective against you. They can't use it. What is the point of them manipulating a piece on the game board if it has no bite? It can't get you. It's a waste of energy, and these things hate to waste energy. They can't stand it. They can't make their own. They steal everything they've got, and so they don't waste it. Not a scrap of it. Everything they do has a purpose. Everything they do has a reason. There is nothing that is done by these things without purpose, because they are like Scrooge McDuck. They count every single scrap of energy because they stole it, and they can't make their own. So they're freaked out all the time about running out. So they're your options. You either go along like you're going along, doing the house clearing, doing the personal clearing, exhausting yourself. Hello, trust me, I've done it. Exhausting yourself. Or you become someone who can't be got like that. That is the only way that these entities will leave your loved ones alone, is to make it not worth their while to come into your loved ones and ride them to get at you. That's it. So you know, that's where we're at. What are your choices here? What can you do? There's not much. You either just run along like it was, or you deal with it. And I'm not saying that doing that's easy. It's not easy at all. It's simple, but it's not easy. Just like dealing with your trauma is not easy. But alternatives, right? What's the alternative? The alternative is fucked. So why would you settle for the alternative? What I'm suggesting is quite a bit of work, and you will have to check your own shit, and it will not work to start with, and you will have to work more on yourself than anyone else. In fact, it's pretty much all self-work. A lot's going to come up. It's not going to be fun, and it won't be easy. Perhaps it will be. Best of luck to you if it is. Well done. But the alternative is not even worth thinking about. So, do you want your loved ones to continue to be held hostage by terrorists? Or are you going to make your loved ones not worth being a human shield? Alright. Go well in the next few days. The energy is a little bit higgledy-piggledy, but we've got it. That's why we're here. Much love.